Welcome, everybody, back to a new episode of the M365 FM podcast. For the last few years, enterprise AI has largely been about one thing: ask AI a question and get answer. But we are now entering a very different phase. AI is moving from answering questions to understanding business context, connecting to enterprise systems, orchestrating workflows, and increasingly taking action on behalf of users. In other words, we are moving from Copilot to agents, but building an impressive agent demo, it's relatively easy. Build an agent that works reliable inside a global enterprise with real users, real business processes, sensitive data, security requirements, governance, integrations, and measurable business outcomes. It's something differently. Um, my guest today is Manpreet Singh, Microsoft MVP and MCT, and leader of the modern workplace AI solutions team at Cognizant. Manpreet works with global enterprise across industries, including financial service, healthcare, media, and entertainment, designing Microsoft-based AI solutions and agentic AI strategies. He also shared his technical knowledge with millions of readers and organized the boot camps, hackathons, conferences, and other community initiatives around AI and Microsoft technologies. Today, we are going beyond the Copilot type. We are going deep into Microsoft Copilot Studio, Enterprise Agent, Autonomous AI, multi-agent architecture, governance, and so on. So, yeah, welcome, Manfred, to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you for the invite. I'm super excited to be here and being part of your amazing podcast.
Thank you. Before we deep dive into the agent world, tell us a little bit about your journey into the Microsoft technology.
Oh, yeah, yeah, of course. I think I spent my whole career life with Microsoft Tech platform. Started my career with .NET and went to SharePoint, SharePoint Moz, 2007, then 2030, 2060, SharePoint Online, Power Platform, Power Automate, and now it's all about AI, right? That's where I came in, and now I have been supporting multiple verticals, multiple clients, where they are insurance, healthcare, life science, bank,
Yeah,
anywhere, helping them and sustaining and building these AI solutions for them.
uh, yeah, yeah, cool. So, let's direct deep dive in the world. Traditional copilot interacts often like summarize this, write this, find this information. What changed when we moved towards solve this problem for me?
Right. So I think the earlier before the world AI hit, right? We were all working on SaaS products, whether it's
Wait,
Microsoft Suite, 365, Power Platform, and we were very happy with the world, right? And then all of a sudden, ChatGPT announced. I think I was one of those fanboys. Hey, this is what it can do. It's so very. It was really something way beyond, right? We all remember ChatGPT through that process. I think it was September or something and then slowly we started moving towards building agents, private agents, personal agents, organization agents. Companies started coming in, they're like, one could I need 10 agents, one for each department. And then they started building the catalog of agents. And then slowly it became multi-agents where companies are like, I just need one agent and child agents were there, right? So, and it kept evolving. Even now, there are MCP, there are prototypes, configurations which people are doing with multi-agent, multi-LLM models coming in picture. They started evolving. That's where now at our job we come in and like me and you we tell them we talk about AI and how AI is coming and helping in employee structure. We're talking about how it can make your life day and day and night life easier, your employee experience as an end user is much better. It's not just dependent on SaaS product where you're opening portals and doing things. Now agent is doing some of the things for you and building that whole end-to-end solution. It's what AI is capable of. And every day, something or the other, whether Claude or Gemini or even Microsoft, they have so many announcements coming up. Something or the other is coming in. Organizations are immediately adopting to it and scaling with it. That's the future of AI and
mm,
enterprise solutions today.
yeah. Let's design an AI agent. What are the major architectural components of production and enterprise agent?
Right. So let's take a client for example, right? A client who is in Microsoft tech stack, my M365. He or she will reach out here like, Manpreet, I want to start a journey in agent, right? And I am a insurance company, who deals with mortgage insurance, auto claim, home. Okay. So how do we start from there, right? So first thing would be, hey, what's your preferred tech stack? And of course, we are talking about Microsoft. So they're like, okay, Microsoft is my preferred tech stack. We divide their use cases, whether it's through between Microsoft 365 Copilot, which is a agent builder, no code, low code,
Yep.
and the Copilot Studio, which has become much more advanced with multi-agent solutions and multi-LLM providers. And then you have Azure AI Foundry, where you're building these models much more designing, much more in-depth compared to other those two products. So you divide the use case into three. And the best part of Microsoft ecosystem is they talk to each other. So it's not like Microsoft Copilot is a standalone agent and then studio agents are standalone. They all talk to each other. They're all connected through Teams and multiple graph API connector. So
Mhm.
an example, as you talk about, right? Somebody company will come, hey, I want to build an agent for my company. You can call it as Jarvis. My employee should be able to come in and do some transactions. Now, imagine the day when you have to apply for a leave before AI. You used to go to a Workday system or a PeopleSoft system, check your leave balance, and then go and apply for a leave. It used to trigger an email to your manager where he or she needs to approve it. And then you get a confirmation, yes, your leave has been approved, right? Now that has changed. Now, if I have to go for a leave on Monday, I just have to ask the agent, hey, agent, can you apply for a personal day off on Monday? It understands what Monday is. It understands what my personal day leave is based on the categories of leaves I have. Checks my balance. If I have balance, immediately sends a Teams pop up to my manager. Hey, do you can you approve or decline or share your comment? He or she approves it, and I get a notification. Hey, your leave is approved, and everything was updated in the PeopleSoft system, in the Workday system. So I didn't open any of those system. I just went to my Copilot chat interface and like, hey, apply for a leave, right? That's an example I gave. Next one, I'll tell you. There are so many insurance call centers, contact centers, right? They get so many calls. So if I call my insurance, hey, I want to see what my current interest rate is, right? So as soon as I call, my agent is also part of the conversation. And while I'm talking and I share my member ID is 1001. Agent goes get all information of that member ID and populates in the screen of the contact center, where a contact center usually will have to go search multiple systems in the Jira, the function, check my profile, understand my profile. Now AI just gets all information, summarizes it, and help even suggest, hey, this is what the new percentage of month rate is. And you can also give him a couple of more offers. So it became my life faster. The 10 minutes call now becomes a 1 minute, 2 minute call. You're saving 8 minutes, right? That's the ROI. So these are some of the agents which you can build and bring into your ecosystem, from as simple as an Azure policy agent or a leaf tracker system or a ServiceNow connector agent or a help desk agent, right? These small fixations, you start from Copilot, Copilot Studio or Azure AI Foundry, or bring your own model, right? Yeah, you can extend and scale these solutions as such.
Mm, awesome. Um, I think w- we have 4 or 5 things when we talk about agent. We have the instructions, we have the knowledge topic, we have the action and tools topic, the
Yeah.
reasoning topic. Uh, how does it all fit together?
Sure, sure. So let's take the same example, the holiday tracker, right? When I'm applying to leave. So when I'm applying leave, it's an API call for validating and checking my balance. Okay. So that's a simple API tool connector which I'm adding as a connector to Workday, which is readily available. There's a best part of Microsoft Suite. And I just connect to my API service account and I'm all set, right? Then second thing is the knowledge, right? Now Again, my best part, ecosystem, SharePoint. We have all the HR, lease policies, documents loaded in a SharePoint site. So if I need to understand, hey, can I apply more leaves than I have for I'm traveling to Italy or something like that, right? So my HR system, the documents which are there in SharePoint, which has no metadata, but AI reads them and pro indexes that information and gives you an output. Yes, you can apply and take some leave from the next year portal, right? So that's where the knowledge comes in. So you have the tools where you're applying reading access or editing the access to Workday system. Knowledge is where you are doing this. And then the third part is the trigger, right? What should be the trigger? For me, the trigger was I went to Teams and I asked to apply for leave. For other people, it could be an email where I send an email to a mailbox and the mailbox understands the query, quick kicks off my agent, and then apply for a leave, right? So this autonomous agent. So these three pillars: the trigger, the tool set, and the knowledge source. It could be SharePoint, it could be data set, it could be files if you have directly uploaded. All becomes an indexer, and your agent just need these three things to kick off and provide a solution to you.
Mm, mhm, mm. Um, I think especially when we talk about knowledge, most enterprise agents are accessing to, yeah, organizational knowledge. How do you, approach the grounding?
Of course, I tell the customer, please don't bring your 20 years of SharePoint as an index. Please don't do that. And I want to tell that in the podcast here as well. What happens is like companies, they're like, hey, they'll build a Copilot Studio agent and they'll add HR or IT sites as knowledge source, which has data from 1995 to 2026. Like, right? And but the agent doesn't understand that, right? It's very, very important. As part of the governance, I tell, uh, please clean up your data. Make sure the data which is really inset or the latest data is only indexed to the data sources of agents because others when they see those answers coming in like hey when is the upcoming leave it can provide you a data from September 2022 or 2026 because it's not able to understand. So you have to give a very clear instruction, provide me an upcoming leave in September 2026. And to avoid that and avoid user frustration, always make sure the data is cleaned up. You only have the data which you want to index to the agent. You will see how agent understands very quickly as part of the indexing it has. Uh, right? But please, please, please don't bring your heavy tons of 2,000, 20,000 files of agent in a Copilot Studio agent. It won't work.
Okay, so that's the part when peer view come into the game.
Yeah, yeah. Because just to be honest, the metadata and the RAG quality is very important for agents, right?
Mm,
So if you dump in 500 unstructured PDFs into a knowledge source with no tags, no description, nothing, no version control, you're just building a random answer generator. It's not gonna help you, right? Until you tag them, make sure you retire or archive the old files and give them a new fresh copy. I usually tell people, why don't you create a new library where you just put in your best 100, 200 files and then share it with an agent? You
mm,
will see the real experience, how the difference is between those 10,000 files, which is from 20 years, compared to your data rag, metadata tag index files.
mm. Awesome, yeah. Um, I think that when we build the agents and so on, but really, yeah, I think the action begins when, yeah, when AI handles something for you.
Right.
So the knowledge is useful, but agents become much more interesting when they can do something.
Like,
What types of actions have you implementing uh, outside of the standard thing?
oh, a lot. Like, so as part of enterprise, we have connected to Salesforce, SAP, Workday, PeopleSoft applications, ServiceNow, Jira, Confluence, n number of providers, right? So right now, when you're building this enterprise agent, you don't want it to be only stuck with Microsoft knowledge base, right? You want them to give an enterprise agent which works with all their systems, whether they are custom systems or they're tools of other company. Then integration endpoint is very important. And Copilot Studio and Foundry, that's the best part. They already have those integrations built from so many years because of Power Platform gateways and Power Platform connectors. You just intune them, bring them as part of the ecosystem. And then when I, as an end user, I'm conversing or doing an action, like applying a leave on a Workday, everything is being done on my Teams or my agent interface, which is deployed in intranet or a web app or wherever. And and it's calling multi agents, multi systems, multi tools, and getting me that information. Right.
Mm,
Recently, we were working with one of the client. Let's just give you an example where they have Salesforce, right? So what they do is, so there are salespeople who are always on the road, all right? And I like me and you met, like, hey, Marco is a nice person and he works for this company. Let me record his contact details, right?
mhm,
Usually what will happen is you will open Salesforce on your phone or an agent right, and you will make an entry. And now with the AI, the fast-paced AI, I just call, hey, I just met Marco. This is his email ID. He works as a CTO for this company. Record him, right? And that just gets added his knowledge base to my Salesforce environment for my whole sales team to know who Marco is, right? It was quick. I just had to make a voice note instead of going and opening a SaaS product and adding your information there, right?
mm.
So those systems, those integrated systems is what help you scale these solutions and bring that as part of your enterprise.
Yeah, I think how build we stuff that's stopping say here say Mirko, here's what you have to do to I have done it for you
All right.
uh from an enterprise architecture perspective. We what how can we do this yeah to this
Yeah.
go
So first step is open up, right? And when I speak at conferences, I always give them homework, right? Sometimes we speak and sometimes it's too much for them. So I create very simple steps as homework. So homework number one, open Copilot Studio, right? Very simple. Open copilotstudio.microsoft.com. Just go ahead. Even if you don't have a license, you will get a trial version for 30 days and then you can keep extending till 90 days. Open that up. First thing what you should do is create a blank agent. Okay. You create a blank agent, call it Jarvis. I'm an Iron Man fan. All my agents are Jarvis. Okay. You
Mm,
put the agent name as Jarvis, add a knowledge source. Now, the knowledge source could be your SharePoint, but sometimes the company don't allow you to do it if you don't have license. Don't worry about it. Just add a website from learn.microsoft.com or add your own company domain, whatever company you're working for, microsoft.com, cognizant.com. Add it as a knowledge source. Okay. So first thing is your knowledge source is ready. Second thing is you want to set up a tool. Like whenever I get an information from AI, send that to me in an email. Right? Very easy. So that is your trigger. So whenever AI agent picks up your information, it's a trigger and it can record and send it to you an email. That's your tool. That's your action you can build. If you have some time, you can also create an Excel sheet like, hey, create this record and add it to my Excel as a row item. Everything is there in Power Automate. Add a new row item. You choose that action, you add it. So now when you're chatting with an agent, you are getting your grounded data from learn.microsoft.com. You can build it as an academy for your company. Or you can do these processes where you are recording data on an Excel file or sending it as an email. So those action, those trigger, and the knowledge source, anyone can start from day one. That's what Copilot Studio is very easy to start with for 30 days, 60 days. And that's what we do at our workshop, right? We give you that slack, we give you that solution, and you do step by step. The first agent is difficult, and then the second, third, you'll be becoming a pro because these agent builder has become so simpler, so easy that you can connect these tools, n number of tools, n number of your enterprise systems, and build it as one.
mm, mm. Awesome. Yeah. Um so what's with we can do a lot of automatization, especially when we talk about agents or multi-agent architecture.
Yeah,
Uh, and now we say, or a lot of people speak about autonomous multi-agent
yeah.
uh, agents. So where did you see the human in the loop?
Right. So human in the loop will always come when there's a cost-based cycle. For example, if you're working for a financial client and there's a claim processing, if it's a claim which AI justifies, it's a $50, $30. I think most of the companies are allowing AI to take that decision. But if there's a claim which is $10,000, right? So they would want a human in the loop to approve or decline this, right? Even in like a usual proposal, right, where there are invoices coming in.
Mm,
Right, there used to be a team of 10 people who used to monitor each invoice and then scan it and upload it in an IBM data cap or any other server. And then there used to be a process automation to extract data and digitize it. Right now, AI is doing that. And there's just one person sitting behind the screen who just validates the invoice because the AI will itself tell you if it is 100% accurate or 60%. You as a human in the loop, you activate that and you do that transaction, whether it's creating tickets, whether it's approving server requests or it's access requests. If you're getting all those, you require human in the loop. And even keeping human in the loop has become so simpler. You are either prompting them on an email, you're either prompting them on a telephone, hey, you're giving them a call while the agent is processing an information, or you're sending them a text message, hey, this is where I am at, like cloud code, right? For example, I have an habit. I keep dreaming. So I dream something, I put it on the cloud code, and it starts working for me. As human in the loop, it keeps asking me, "Is it okay? Am I on the right direction?" I'm like, "Yes, you are." I'm like, "No, no, this is wrong. Can you fix it?" Right? So that human in the loop will always be required in AI because we are not replacing human. We are just making them more empowered at their work cycle. The time they used to do certain activity, it used to take an hour or 30 minutes. Now it takes a minute or two. So me as a human, I can do other stuffs much more efficiently and faster than waiting on my lazy work. So with
mm,
AI agents, we are not replacing people. We are just empowering them to do their job much better.
awesome. Yeah, yeah. Um, let's talk. We have the human in the loop. I think it's one security aspect. From yeah. But yeah, we have other things. So what changes when an AI system can access multiple enterprise applications?
Yeah.
From
So see, because governance for AI can't be designed in a vacuum, you need to make sure all of your systems are part of the same governance sector, right? You learn by setting up those guardrails across the clients I work with, right? Whether you're working with solutions from Microsoft Tech Stack to Amazon Tech Stack to ServiceNow, Workday, they all come under the same purview, Microsoft security purview, or DLP policies are applied, or the sensitivity labels are applied across systems. Some clients are, hey, I don't want any PHI information to be loaded to the agent, right? So you lock down all those as part of the COE when you set up. So that's why I tell client before you start buying agents from the market or start building agents, first is set up your governance, set up your COE. So the center of excellence for you to set up that governance is very important.
yeah.
Now, when you set up this governance, also make sure you don't make it so tough for each agent. Like I'll give an example. Somebody wanted to build an agent which was extracting data from OneDrive and Teams, right? So those two platforms, but the DLP which was applied to them was from enterprise level, blocking service now, this and that, and like too many heck. So the response what was coming was like a minute. I was waiting for the response to come. It's coming in a minute. Like why? You have to design your environment, your DLP policy as such, based on what you're building, what AI interfaces you're building is required. If I'm building an agent who just require OneDrive and Teams, lock down your DLP policy on that environment of that agent to just get me information from that. Instead of blocking everything like, hey, I want to be a secured engine and block, it will not help you. Make sure your all agents are deployed in multiple environments, make sure that all have specific DLP or purview or defenders connected to them and system. And then most of your system, your enterprise system, which are already existing, whether it's ServiceNow, Confluence, Jira, they're already in part of your enterprise governance. The API is only the key which you're connecting through, or MCP. My favorite. I always love MCP to do it. It's all already governed and scaled. just make sure your governance is set up before you bring these agents for your enterprise. You don't want them to come and upload a passport copy or
Mm.
SSN copy. You want to make sure you block it. And there are so many tools which we have built where even when somebody uploads, it's not even submitted to AI. You get a blocker. Hey, you're uploading a page information. Hold up. So you can bring those practices as part of your day-to-day life cycle in your enterprise, and you will see how agent building is much more secure. I come from a company. We have 350K associates. It's a
Okay.
lot of people globally, lots of people working in. People in Germany, Australia, China, UK, right? Everyone has their own environments. Everyone has their own DLP purview policy set. So it's the governance is much more easier when you do all the stuff. So
Well,
please set up a COE first and then start rolling out your agents.
yeah, I think when we talk about, we have multiple tools. We have the Azure policy, we have the Defender, we have PureView, and much more,
Yeah.
Entra-ID and so on. How did all these tools fit into an enterprise-ready, AI architecture?
Yeah, so Microsoft now is making sure it's locking down the Entra ID with Defender and Purview. All the policies are in sync. So you're not creating multiple policies in Purview, which is not reflecting on your Defender, or it's not reflecting to your Entra ID. Your those security groups are in sync. Your active, your data DLPs are in sync. So the enterprise modules of these systems are already working. And as I said in the beginning, this Microsoft ecosystem, it makes your life easier. The
Mm,
same security groups, the same user groups that applied across your tenant, whether it's NFID, Outlook, Team, SharePoint, and you bring these policies across organization, across regions. Like I know EU has a different sets of policies compared to what US and Canada has. So it's very easy for syncing between all these security components and building this sustainable systems.
mm, mm, mm. Okay. Um, I think I heard from companies like yours, a big company. Some companies have thousands of agents. What's with I say, I don't know if it's word so exist, but what is with agent lifecycle management?
Yeah. Oh, that's the next. That's what we are doing now. So, thinking of a hospital, right? And hospital has a lot of doctors. Someone is specialist in cardiology. Somebody is specialist in ear, nose, ENT. Somebody is for bones, right? So, as I said, before the multi-agent network came in, people were building agents. I have companies who have built, like, yes, hundreds of thousands of agents for just small purposes, like if they are building one agent for HR, it's connecting to ServiceNow Conference, and they're making building another agent for IT, which is also connecting to ServiceNow Conference, but they just want to call it as IT agent and HR agent. But with multi-agent, that become easier for them. Now, those thousands of agents are getting accumulated under a child relationship between the multiple agents. So one agent drafts, another audits, another agent checks the output against a policy or something like that. Or the handoff, one agent is doing agent to agent calling, or one agent is doing agent to the system, the enterprise system calling, right? So that has become lower. So now the multiple agents are grounding towards their platform. And then you have Agent 365 as dashboards which are coming for the security productivity with dashboard. What are the agents utilize? How many agents are connected to what data sources? How many agents are being used by external people? That has become a very in tune tool. And Agent 365 is still, there's a lot of potential. It's still just started off. I think it came GA a couple of months back. So we as consumers, we are bringing every single agent, whether it's built on Cloud, whether it's built on Microsoft last year, you build them in Agent 365. That creates a whole loop for you, making sure there are no agents without owners, making sure your agents are not connected to connectors which require additional access or environment approval. So that dashboards have started coming up. Yes, it became a pain point, and then Microsoft brought in, hey, this is the Agent 365. The future would be, yes, the agents are monitoring itself. There would be a security agent monitoring all the agents, and hoping sure all the purview, all the DLP defenders are applied to it. But for now, it's a manual process. You are adding agent like Entra ID. We all have Entra ID, principal IDs as backend, unique IDs. Agents now have those agent IDs, agent Entra IDs, where they get added to Agent 365. They have a unique ID, and you are able to monitor what that agent is doing, whether it's
Yeah.
working, whether it's failing, how much credit has it consumed. So right now it's all manual, but soon I think an agent will come over it to monitor that as well.
Awesome. Yeah. Uh,
Oh,
So I think a little bit step in this side we have with the security copilot. Uh,
yeah,
Actually, but it's more monitoring. It's not doing something really from
right.
itself.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
and that's a good feature. It's free in admin center. Like you can ask him, hey, check my license, check this. So it's doing the basic work yet, but yeah, I would want it to do everything in the security admin center.
yeah, yeah. I like talking a little bit more about agent governance. I found this topic really interesting. So
Sure.
I think for years we had Shadow IT, then Shadow ZAF, then Power Platform Sprawl.
Yeah.
Are we heading toward again Agent Sprawl?
Not yet. I would say it will because I think what happened last year, the 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 number of agents started increasing in every single company. Everyone was building some or the other purposes. But now, as I said, they're controlling these agents as parent-child relationship. So that is making governance much more easier compared to those 10,000 agents. Now you have fewer agents, fewer governed, closely governed agents. So I don't think we are there yet. This year, I've seen companies adopting the security and governance very seriously. They're making sure because last year everyone was learning on the go. They were checking enterprise. They were checking why is it so slow? It's slow because of the DLP. So they revised the AI platform. They revised their COE now, and I feel the future would be much nicer. Yeah, of course, there are open source agents which can do a lot of things like Claude and all, right? The new Fable is so powerful, and people can use it for so many other multi purposes. But I think for public access or enterprise access, you'll be still under government control. Whether if you are using Microsoft ecosystem, I've not heard anything going wrong. Yeah, so should be fine.
Mm, awesome. Yeah, I think that's become yeah the future. I think yeah. Um, and when we look or mm, I think I have to think about it with my question, but but first jump a little bit into another topic. It's often recommended by Microsoft.
Yeah.
Should there be a central specialized AI center of excellence? Did we need it?
Oh yeah, yeah, you need that, right? So that's why this new Agent 365, that would be a center of excellence. You're able to see all the tools, the agents. You're able to see all the workflows which are connected to agent workflows. You're able to see what are the data sources people are consuming in the company. So I can check, oh yeah, people are using SharePoint, Conference Service, and there's only third-party tool. Like who brought this third-party tool? That's not approved, right? So that kind of governance is very important, I think. As I said, I think Agent 365 coming in the picture is still the step one. It should do a lot more in the future. I think probably at the Ignite conference, they'll announce more features into it as part of the ecosystem. But yes, it is very important. Me as an admin, I want to see a dashboard where my 350K people are building thousands of agents, but I should be able to monitor who is building what and what are they connecting to, right? What actions are they building? What knowledge sources they are building? What FCPs they are connecting? I would want to see that dashboard. Yes.
Mm, awesome. That sounds really interesting. Uh, yeah, but what would I ask? Should agents have a kind of risk classifications?
Uh-huh. Uh, there are again when we build agents, right? You build agents from enterprise systems to modeling processes, right? Uh, Again, as I said, the agent processing. is not very complicated, as we suppose. I don't see any risk for enterprises because you're already governing them. Your data is not going outside. Your data is locked to your Azure subscription, right? So you're not using public domain ChatGPT or
Right.
Copilot or Gemini, sorry, Claude. You're using enterprise agents, which are already governed with your DLP policy. So I don't see any risk going on. Though I've seen people when they build something on Cloud Code and like or GitHub code, right? They sometimes loses some data because they prompt it such way. Other than that, and that's again human in the loop, right? It's always there, and it's getting fixed. I still don't feel there's any risk or governance part of the picture. If your data is governed by companies like Microsoft, they assure you, right? And then tell you a quick story. So when AI came in, and I was trying to pitch this Microsoft Copilot to one of the life sciences biggest medicine maker in the United States, they were I want Microsoft lawyer to come to my office, sign me an agreement that my knowledge, my data will not go outside to train the model, right? And Microsoft sent the lawyer to confidently sign that document. Yes, your data is your data and it will not be used to train the other model. So that confidence is what we required a couple of years back. And now
Yeah.
companies are very much in a variation where they don't find AI as a risk. At least on the governance side, job, there's a different debate me and you can have. But for enterprise, improving their experience, it's really doing its job.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah,
Um, I have seen on was the LinkedIn on my research. You worked around the concept of a unified AI command center.
yeah, yeah.
What exactly is an AI command center?
So again, AI command center would be again starting with Agent 365 or environment setup, right? So you build a portal where a request comes in. You're governing every step. Like for example, I'm a company X. My unified command center would be people requesting for an agent or requesting for a tool or requesting for an MCP right from my command center where the admin approves or decline. Yes, okay, go ahead. I'm approving your access to go and connect to service now. And this is the API. This is the API client ID, client secret, right? You automate that whole process where you are also doing auditing, you are also doing validating, you're also checking, making sure everything is human in the loop. That's where the command center, I would say, it would come in, right? And that command center for you to is build an agent and then use the agent, and where you are also able to monitor the agent, how agent is working.
Mhm.
Is it providing relevant information or is just blabbering because there are 20,000 files which is connected to it, right? So that is another part of the monitoring you want to see. You want to see that the agent is being shared with right people, right set. Nobody is doing a Bitcoin farming there, right? So you need to control that. Put some limit, put some credit. Hey, don't go above $1,000 a month, right? For example, right? What if somebody brings in a Bitcoin farm and starts doing on AI servers and you get a bill of 100K? So you put limitations on each agent, each environment, on what how much prompt should go, so that you can monitor when you get a flag. Hey, you reached $1,000. Why did I reach $1,000? My employees are just 100. Who is doing what, right? So you need to bring those as part of the command center. Again, as I said, COE. It's all part of your COE. You need to make sure you set it up, and then it makes your life as an enterprise much easier. Yeah,
And I think from the admin perspective, it's also does the or we have two roles. We have the normal user who will build this app and say, okay, please give me $100 for this. I don't know, and this access rights. And then we have the admins. So um, um, is this also think for my idea? It's like an agent inventory tool for
yeah. Yeah,
so,
it is. So yeah, you said the right thing. So when Copilot was announced, right, M365 Copilot, an agent builder, people started building thousands of agent, right? And the admins are like, who does not understand AI? They are good in administrator job, right? But they're like, what are these agents? How do I control them? I don't know what they're building. I see 1,000 in a day coming in. what the first step they did was they turn off the feature where you can build an agent. Like immediately, they like turn it off. I don't know what to do with it, right? I want to understand who is building these agents and then get the list of where they're connecting to. So that inventory was a very important factor. Microsoft gave you Power Platform. They added an agent feature there. The dashboard started coming in, right? That is still coming in. They have not removed it yet. So at least the admin was like, "Oh my god, okay, I see all the agents in one place. Okay, which is good." Now what's the next step? How do I see the knowledge source or the tools they're connecting? So Agent 365 now is doing the same purpose what an admin would have shouted. I've seen admin screaming at a conference to a person like, I want an admin center. I want to see an inventory of all the agents, right? That was missing. But now I think people are happy. They're able to see inventory. They're able to see, understand all the knowledge set, tool set. So as admin, it's very important. They understand what is coming into the system. It could be a cyber security access issue or DLP issue in future. They will need to make sure all APIs are covered and controlled, which they have been doing with multiple systems, are also being consumed by the AI agents. Yeah. So yes, they wanted that inventory and now they have it. So they are very happy about that.
Mm, okay. Awesome, awesome, and it's also heaven and part of I think, yeah, it's not the nicest topic, but we are all enthusiastic about tokens getting or damn experience. It's getting damn
Right.
expensive. I think we start with for the US dollars and all in, and
I know.
now we pay for the token. It's also be possible to have a cost overview with this tool.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of cost. Even for me, it's like, do you I'm paid $30 for Microsoft Copilot, and you
Uh,
want me to pay another for credits and Copilot Studio, and now I think there's GitHub Hardness. They're also charging there, so there's a lot of cost. I think even to do a click, you would have to pay something, right? But it's just because the AI is expensive, right? The backend, the data centers and data servers, they are expensive at this stage, so the more users use it, the cost will reduce. But again, the usage is also increasing a lot of other factors. So those are the things. So yeah, I think right now there's very limited configuration in admin center where you can
mhm,
control the credits. That hey, this agent should be only consuming these many credits. I would want to see that I'm able to control that per user also, so that I that would help me that what like me and you are pro users. We can consume 10,000 prompts, right? And what if there's another user who just wanted to come and check something, and because I consume everything of that agent. Now they're getting, sorry, you don't have enough credit, right, or enough Copilot funds, right? So I think yes, the companies will start now understanding, because right now they were happy with the $30 Copilot cost, and then they were happy with Copilot Studio as being the interface of building agents. But when you charge them for AI builder credits, you charge them for Power Platform Premium connector, then yes, they will want to see how much have I spent every month, every quarter, even every day. That is still missing because yeah, it's not there. But I think that will come because people are asking for it.
yeah. Is this more an idea or it's just product in development, a beta or
It is
even
a project in development. Yeah, it is there. It will come. It has to come. Right now, I'm able to see credits on Power Platform Admin Center and a little bit on the Agent 365. But eventually, yes, I would want to see. And so many requests have already come to me. Hey, Manpreet, can I check how many prompts this the agent is consuming? What's the credit, right? Instead of the overall credit, they want to understand what particular agent is doing, what end user is doing. They will want to see that. Yes.
yeah, yeah, one thing I think actually I find this really interesting with this yeah, with this AI command center, and I have next days I have a live stream. We build an enterprise agent, and in the second step we do is for yeah, for producement.
Right.
And it would be really cool if you're ready. We can test it on the tenant, the tool. I think that's I really interested to see it
That
out.
would be amazing. Yes, yes. You build an agent in real time and then validate it in the backend. That would be really cool. Yes.
Yeah. Uh,
And
and
everyone in the room can test it, right? How many prompts and how many message threads they are using.
and then in the next episode, you must bring your trouble
Eh,
also line. That's
I
cool.
would love that. I would love that.
Yeah. Um, Observability. Traditional applications have logs. What does observability mean for agentic AI?
Again, is you start with your metrics, right? They want to see the ROI for the agents, and where they're picking up how many prompts are getting returned with a real value out of it, right? That is very important. And observability being part of Agent 365 now, Microsoft is going very, very hard because as you said, right, they want to know how the agents inventory is happening, what the people consuming across
Yeah.
the system. Observability is the next new thing everywhere. If you see Microsoft Frontier firm, how observability is being changed with Agent 365, and they bring E7 as part of the license systems where they're making sure you are connected to your Purview and Defender systems as well. So that's a new, I would say, word, the key word in making sure the governance is in place for all the areas.
Mm,
Yeah.
awesome. Um, and sh- or should we log prompts from? Okay. Uh, I think here in Germany, the most people say, "Oh, I don't get spied out." But yeah, okay. Um, mm, how do you troubleshoot a user reporting? Yesterday, the AI, the agent did something strange.
Right.
Uh, how can you look into it, or how? Yeah, I think how we can look into the process, what these AI agents do, and how we can fix it.
So that's the observability, right? What the agent is doing, right? The traces, what the trace, right? Full chain of the reasoning or the call to action it did when the end user prompted. You want to understand what it did, what was the process, where it went, what was the knowledge source, right? You want to understand the metrics out of it and get that log structure. So when the data is accessed, was it accessed? Was it access PDF 1 or was it access PDF 2 or did it access PDF 1 and 2 both? Right. So that's where right now when you call about Microsoft Studio, they got new features as part of where you see the transaction when you have typing on my test agent. Hey, get me information about HR policy on taking a leave. It gives me a whole chart where my agent is going to, which SharePoint or which knowledge source it actually understood, it hit, and then I get a response from there. And so you get that whole cleaning up picture coming up. And this Copilot Studio Observability really gives you a proper UI to make you sure how the trace of data is happening. It's also there in Azure Copilot Observability also, where you can see the what was the outcome,
Mm,
did the prompt, did the and you have those thumbs up, thumbs down, right? People normally don't do that. I always tell people, hey, if you got the right answer, give a thumbs up because agent understands the source was good, the tooling was correct, right? It did the exact good job what it's supposed to do. So that whole observability is where the monitoring, the automation, and the governance will come as part of the global picture.
mm. Yeah, I think observability is becomes so it's so strange when you think there are agents that work autonomously.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think also we have to talk about testing AI agents. And how do you testing something whose answer aren't deterministic?
Oh, I love this new feature in Copilot Studio, the evaluation feature. I don't know if you have used it or not,
Yeah.
where it creates those test use cases, understanding what the agent capability is, and then you input that and scores it. So, as I said, I want agent to do all the stuff, right?
Mm,
And it's exactly doing that. Agent creates those test use cases, and you input them as data source and data injection, and it gives you an output. How did it do? And then you can keep creating those use cases and the evaluation and keep feeding it to the agent provider, you understand whether the data is being indexed properly or not. Sometimes we feel the index didn't happen well. So we go back in the SharePoint admin center, we re-index the SharePoint list or something, or the library, right? Re-indexing the whole part of the picture. So that will help and part of the structuring the data set, and that helps in making sure the agent population, whatever the output is coming, you're getting the real output. So the test is good. Now this Copilot Studio toolkit, I always tell people it's a free tool by the cat team.
Mhm.
Please use it. You can deploy that as your Microsoft App Stores and Power Platform. That helps you in creating and testing more use cases as part of your evaluations and all those stuff. So test your agent, make sure you're getting a proper output, proper, because those testing also added to the prompt, because you are training through prompts and through testing, your agents become much better. Rather than when you build an agent and you give it to an end user, the agent will perform, but it won't perform the way you want it to. So based on those test use cases, the evaluation, the agent also learns on the go on the process.
Mm, awesome. Um, but how did we test against, I say, hallucinations? What's this?
So
Mm,
sorry, Mike, I didn't get you on that.
yeah. I think how how I figure out if my AI starts to hallucinating.
Oh, yeah. So again, the two options, thumbs up, thumbs down. That's the end user governance trail where they can, if they didn't like the answer, they thumbs up. But on the evaluation, the test cases, like what? Let's take Copilot Studio. You go to Copilot Studio, you go to evaluation sector. You're feeding responses. We go very detailed use cases, and there are PDFs which has 100 files, 200 files. We pick up data from each of them. We create a user trail where a user would be asking a similar kind of questions on those document sets, and we feed it to the agent, and we would validate how the agents learn. As I said, the first step is make sure your data is clean. Your data, where you're indexing it has proper metadata and tags and the description. If you don't do that, then the response will be all hallucinated. Most of the organization, they turn off the feature, a web feature. Like they don't want data to come from the web. They only want your data to come from the grounded data which you are indexing. So that minimize your knowledge to go and hallucinate. Okay, so
Mm,
step number one, don't use the web, because web is like Google and Bing, right? There's so much data in there, right or wrong. So you want to make sure your data, latest data, proper data, aligned data, structured data is input to a agent, and then agents coming. Those were the days when the hallucination was very strong. Now with new models in GPT
oh,
and Opus and all, the hallucination is very, very, very negligible.
mm, mm. And we often talk about these multi-agent system. How have you an example how this looks like? Is it like a normal organization structure? I have a HR agent, and I have an that puts me says, okay, I need 10 developers, and then hire them, or how does it work?
Right, right. Yeah, I've seen companies doing amazing demos. I'll give you an example. For somebody built an agent, a multi-agent, like I am the CEO. I will be the top one who will input the data, and then the CEO has multiple departments: HR, marketing, sales, and things like that. Those becomes a multi-agent framework. So when I ask, hey, uh, can you create a marketing slide for me? I'm meeting Marco for a podcast. So it goes, it understands the requirement, and the marketing agent, as in my network, goes and picks up that task and starts working on it. Whereas then the second word will, hey, can you help me book a flight? I have to go and meet Marco on next Wednesday in person. My other agent, my tracker or travel agent, goes and understands, start looking for flights for me. That's the multi-agent network. So earlier what was happening was, before multi-agent, we were doing one-on-one. Like if I have to book a travel, I have to go to travel agent. If I have to do an HR agent work, I have to go to HR agent. Now I just go to one agent. That agent, now people have fancy names in the organization. Somebody calls them as Pepsi, or somebody calls as Eva, somebody calls as some GPT, or fancy GPT names, Eva, Alexa. So you just go to that agent. Hey, do this for me. That agent will become as your multi-agent framework and identify that agent to agent work for you instead of you looking for an agent to do that work. Hey, where is a travel agent? Let me find. It's not important to find. You don't do that. You just go to your one agent. And which for us is and Microsoft tech stack is Copilot. You
Mhm.
just go to Copilot. Copilot is already connected to multiple agents in the backend. It will go and consume those agents to agents or those agents to providers and get you your input or your output you're looking for.
Mm, mm. Something, yeah, I've seen on my research, your technical article, your blog have reached more than 10 million readers. How have you do it with AI agents?
Yeah, yeah. Those were the times when we used to write, right? Yeah, like when we used to sit, when we used to learn, and that's how I started. I started my sharing knowledge through articles. If I'm writing a PowerShell script, hey, I wrote a script. I'll put it on my blog or article. Hey, you can start using it from there. Or if I'm doing some new snippet of a tool or I'm learning something, I learned this now. Let's put it on the article. I think that's where it came, and then I made sure I make it easier for people, but to learn, I want to complicate it because even for me, if somebody puts an article or a blog post, like just put a quote there, I want to understand like what does it do? Like right, I want somebody to give me step one, step two, step three. It goes to my mind, it
Mm,
register. I think that's how I got it.
yeah, yeah. Wow, I could talk another hour with you. That's I really enjoy it. So I have I have every podcast. I have a rapid fire round. So I short question, short answer. So
Yeah,
Copilot Studio or custom code,
custom code,
Power Automate or autonomous agents,
Power Automate,
one powerful agent or many specialized agents,
many specialized agent,
low code or pro code,
Pro Code,
rack or fine tuning,
right?
SharePoint or data wars.
SharePoint.
Awesome.
My SharePoint guy.
Yeah, when the your phone rings and Satya Dada calls you and say, "Madam, you do so a great job. I need you for the Copilot Studio, and you can develop future you like. You get all the money and resources. What will
Right.
you build?"
To be honest, if I have to build an agent, I have many agents. I have my own personal agents. I have my phone and everything, right? But right now, this year, I was thinking if I have to build an agent, I'll build an agent which will directly work with the climate change, the heat, the fire, making sure get some renewable resources like water and all back it used to be. I think I want that agent which can do that kind of a geography mapping and helping and sharing those ideas with the governments around the world, maybe with the United Nations, so that they can use the power of my agent and it can help them to bring a life to a better peaceful it used to be.
Yeah, and who should I invite next, and what question should I ask?
To the next guest.
Yeah.
Uh, and if it's on the Microsoft tech stack, ask him or her like, what do you love more? Which agent do you like more? M365 Copilot, GitHub Copilot, or Foundry agent?
And have you an idea who I should ask?
No, I don't have an idea.
Okay, yeah. Then my final question, Samantha, imagine I'm a CEO. Okay, I cannot imagine it, but really, but I tried. Of a global enterprise, we already have Microsoft 365 Copilot. We're
Right,
experimenting with Copilot Studio. Different departments are building agents. We have hundreds of applications, huge amount of SharePoint content, sensitive data,
right.
regulation requirements, and all this stuff. And the executive now was asking me, when do these AI investments really actually start transforming the business? So
So
if you're sitting there with me, um, how did we design the next 3 months?
yeah, so when people ask about ROI, they just feel and I've seen that multiple CEOs and CTOs I talk to, they're like, "Hey, I built this agent. I have 10 agents. I don't see people using it, right?" the major factor of those ROI is adoption. I'll tell you why, right? I know you are on time, but I'll be very quick. So people are building agents, organizations are building agents, but as a consumer, as an end user, you just announce them on an Outlook email. Hey, this is a new agent. This will do this, and that's it. Who is an end people like I'll just give myself as an example. I'm a non-IT person, right? I just come to the office for my legal work. For example, I'm a legal author, right? I don't care about your multiple agents until I know what should I do with that agent, right? So if somebody gives me an agent, Manpreet, here's the agent. I'm like, okay, what should I do with this agent? Should I book my flight ticket? Should I buy a Bitcoin, or should I buy a new Audi car? You have to give me instructions, right? That is where the adoption is a very important factor.
Mm,
All companies, even if you build 10,000 agents and you are looking for an ROI, we need to train our associates, every single associate, not just the top C-suite or not just the managerial level, every single user. One of the CIO of a big bank told me one very good thing. I was talking to him. He's like, Manfred, I want to not just build agents, I want to empower my people to use agents, right?
mm,
That is where the adoption comes in. You need to make sure that Manpreet and the other person, everyone knows how to use an agent. Everyone knows what the outcome of that agent should be, and they know what the input they can provide. So it should be a day in a life of Manpreet versus day in a life of a lawyer or day in a life of an HR. Everything should be covered. The more the people, the hands-on they get. Right now, you and me, right? You know, you were taking podcasts and you're gonna extract this information, AI, put article and things like that.
mm,
You know how to use AI. But if there's a person who does not know how to use AI, they're gonna still go and write an article, they'll listen to my podcast, they'll write line by line, and they'll spend
mm,
4 hours. You will do that in 1 minute. So that
mm,
adoption is where the ROI comes. And I have seen companies from 0% of buying an M365 Copilot license for 8 to 10 months, no adoption rate. And then when you do this adoption training, persona based training,
mm,
one-on-one training, it has increased to 98 to 99%. That's
mm,
the adoption goal you need to bring. And that would be your ROI because your company started using and becoming much more experienced and much more empowered with a new tech stack and started bringing that knowledge in your day-to-day cycle. So that's
yeah.
my ROI pitch.
Mm. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Margaret, thank you so many for joining me today. For me, the big takeaway from this talk is that next phase of enterprise AI isn't simply about creating better prompts or adding another chatbot to I don't know, Teams or something. It's more
So
moving from answers to outcomes. Agents can connect knowledge. Applications, workflows, business processes. It's a real amazing time. But that also means the difficult part for enterprise technology doesn't disappear. Identity matters, security matters, data quality matters, governance matters, architecture matters, testing matters. But the most important thing, what's the most importantly, it's the people using the systems also
matters.
matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for giving this view, and you have to come. This product is ready to the live stream and show it to us. So for all the listeners, you find Manfred information in on the podcast page from this episode. And yeah, thank you again so many for spending an hour with me.
Oh, thank you, Marco. Thank you for this invite, and thank you for bringing stories like me in your podcast. You're doing an amazing job. Thank you for hosting me today.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
All right, take care. Bye bye.